Hey guys, this is the first police mission. I worked on it for 1 hour and 19 minutes, so I won't give you all the hour in total. I will edit it just for your time's sake because um, it's a long mission. There's a long way, a road ahead. I had to maneuver in the network, as you will see. It was a bit difficult, but I managed to do it. So here we go. We're gonna find a mission on the police website. We will have to find the criminal. He have evidence on his computer. Hidden in the network. So for we will start with the basic who is command and map command to know who we are dealing with. And we're not lucky, there's no port open on the network. So, like the last video, we'll have to hack the router to have access to the computer. So I will use the Ragoon's exploit for router that give you a guest shell on the router. Next thing we will do, we'll transfer scanlan to see where we are in the network. It's a medium-sized network. I've seen bigger ones. So now we can see we have a shell on the main router of the network, and the machine we have to hack is right in the middle of it, behind a switch. You can see the difference with hubs and switches. The switches are in red, hubs are in blue, and the router looks like an ordinary router, so you can differentiate all the component. Now I test where's the gateway for this computer is. It's in another router, going through a switch to a hub and the computer. So I will have to try some things. First off, I'll try to hack the main gateway. So I will transfer some exploit. And usually the library to go with it. And now we are guest in the gateway of the computer. I will transfer some other exploit and libraries. So now I will try to decipher the password for the computer, but I'm not in the right place to do it. So we'll have to try something else. So navigating in the network to be much closer to it. I will hide my trace in this router. And now we'll try the same thing from the main router. And there's not enough computer behind it because I'm up the switch, so it won't work. So now what I will try is to hack the switch. Now we have a guest shell in the switch. As I said, I worked on 1 hour and 19 minutes, so it will be a long journey. And it's not my first police mission in reality. I tried two others before this one, and after 5 hours, I didn't manage to do it. Are randomly generated, so some mission are not gonna be possible to do. So it's can take some hours before you realize that you won't be able to do it, but it's okay. You just take another one. So now I've tried again, but I think I have a problem with my copy. If you copy in the scan LAN, it put a space in front of the LAN IP, and I think that's why it's been so much time. When you type it by hand, you'll see later that it works and the requirement for the exploit work. So, but I will leave something in this video because I will hack some CCTV to have to gain access to email address and things like that and other computers. And I will show you again how to do a reverse shell to hack those computer with the funny game social engineering. Now I'm looking for exploit to enter another computer. This one has a FTP port open on it, but FTP you cannot have it. You cannot connect it like a shell like SSH. So you can only use exploit to have some things. There possibility to have shell access like this one, but it requires people logging in. If you don't have credentials for connecting to it, it will be hard if nobody is connected on it. and nobody's connected on it. So I don't have any username, so I cannot use social engineering to have a user or the administrator online. Here we have a SQL database open on another computer. So we'll try to hack this one to gain a shell. Shell are easily accessible with SQL than FTP, as I found out. This one is pretty useful. It, it's used to change a password, but in the same time, it gives you a username. So with a username, you can ask the admin to be online to use another exploit that use the vulnerability of having a root on it. So I will try lead P on this one to change the password that give me the username for one of the user on the computer. So now I will ask the admin to go online on the machine to give me some vulnerabilities to hack on it. So now we have oh, no, I have a space in front of the email address. So here we go. We have the administrator online. Now we'll try another exploit. Now we are deciphering some username and password. It took a very long time. This is why I made a short video on how to upgrade your server to be able to decipher more quickly. Now I will ask for the credential of the CCTV and I will show you how to access it and gain some information inside the building. But to have access to a CCTV, you have to open a browser. So you have to be in a machine to open a browser. Routers are not able to open a browser. So it's very important that you gain access to a computer near the CCTV to be able to see the CCTV and gain information. So now I realize that if TP doesn't give you a shell, so my first thought was to use FTP to gain access to a computer, but the exploit that are available or will not work on this network, so I will have to use something else. Mostly in a network, the root password is the same for all the computers. So now what I'm waiting for is to decipher the root and be able to gain access to any computer in the network. As we can see, we have 4 servers connected on this network. So I will try to see if there is some open port on other server to gain access to the computer to run the CCTV. So now we have the root password, so I will not decipher all the other password. Just break the command to have access to the terminal. Now do an nmap on another computer. On FTP, well, it won't work. So we'll find another server. This one have a SSH. So with SSH, we will be able to open a shell with the root password. It's the main point of entry of this total act, gaining access to this computer made this act possible. Now the router that I'm in doesn't have a SSH command, so I'll transfer SSH. Once that's done, I will be able to connect in a machine and do some better work than in a router. And now we are root in the machine. So now we'll try to connect to the CCTV. So another social engineering to have the password for the CCTV. And here it is, we have the password. So now from there, I will be able to call the browser with the main IP. Here I did a mistake. I delete all the log. It's not something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just delete the shell connection and leave the connection alone. So when you disconnect, you have a connect and disconnect. Now I will just have a disconnect when I return home, so it will be suspicious. So now you access the CCTV, put the password, and from there there's some post-its on on the wall. You can find some useful information. Sometimes there's 2 boards, one with nothing and one with something. You scan the room, find the board with the information, zoom on it, and you'll see there's some email credentials and login credentials for some computer. You have the IP address of the computer for the login credentials. So you can see where the computer is. As I said, the copy for the LAN IP in the scan LAN give you a space character in front of the LAN IP. Probably if I realize it sooner, will it won't take me 1 hour to do this mission. Next time I will know it, so I will be able to probably act most effectively. So we have the credential for two machine on the network. It's not the machine that we want, but you can gain useful information. There's some, I can call it Easter egg. You can find some stories of the Unix OS, the origin of Unix OS, in some PDF that you can read. There are sometimes chat logs that you can find some tidbits, and even sometimes see that someone have been hacked. You can find the log. In the log you will see the IP address of the hacker, and then you can investigate yourself on this hacker, and if you can find some evidence that he really hacked this company, you can report it on the police website. What I did for this for the post-it, I use my phone and take a picture of it, so I don't have to write it down on a piece of paper, and I can go on my phone and see the credential that I need later. It's useful tricks, because you cannot copy what's in the text in the picture, so I take a picture with my phone. Usually, when you see in the scan LAN just a computer, a rectangle box, it's a computer, so usually it's not a server, so there's no port open on it. So when you want to hack something, you have to see the three rectangle box stacks one on top of the other. That's a server. They most likely have open ports on it. So hack directly a computer, it's more harder. You have to do a reverse shell, and you will see much further in the video. I will reverse shell on the two computer that I have credentials. Now I will decipher email address, so I can use reverse shell with the funny game social engineering, because this social engineering only works when you send the email from a known email in the company. You cannot send it from your own, so you have to hack an email account. So now you log in the email, find some credential, some username to send it to. So I will use some username on the post-it that I found to gain access to another computer. To set the R shell, you have to put the IP address of your server where the R shell server is installed and put the right port, that's usually 1222. Send it, wait for the response, open, if you have already have a terminal open on your server, just type the R shell interface command. If not, open SSH shell to your server and type the R shell interface and find the IP that you want and connect to it. A good rule of thumb, if you have the root password, go immediately to root. You will be able to add your trace and things like that. So having the root password, it's really really useful. So now we can see we have other user on this computer. Now I'm looking for some information, Easter eggs or something like that, or a pixelated picture. And when you log in with reverse shell, usually the logs are empty. It doesn't leave trace, so it there's a step that you don't have to do, erase your trace on the computer. So I didn't find anything useful on this computer. I will try another computer. So I will do another reverse shell. There it is. Run the R shell interface again. Connect on the new machine. Escalate to root. Now we can search for things in the other computer. Find the log is empty and get out of it and try to connect to the machine that we want. I'm now down there. So now I will watch the other CCTV to find some other information. Here we have another CCTV. I'll find some information on the wall. This tried it. It's not an email address. I don't know why it have a username, a dash, and the website of the company with a password. I didn't find this username anywhere in the network. I don't know how you can use this information. Really don't know. But you have another information that we already have for the 2410 on the network, and we have the credential for an email address. If we didn't have it, if we didn't manage to hack mail credential, there's one on the wall, so you can use this one to do your reverse shell. I found that the boards with the profits picture usually don't have information. I will skip the two other CCTV because there's nothing useful in this, and I will try to shorten this video because I'm not sure you have the time to watch 1 hour and 19 minutes of video. Time is precious, and usually we don't have 1 hour and 19 minutes to spend on one video. Trust me, when I go on YouTube, I have most of the time 11 videos of people that I'm subscribed to see. So if there's 1 hour video, it have to be entertaining and give me dopamine enough to tough it. So now I'm at a part of the act where I will try to have the credential for the computer that I want. And this is where I realized that there's a space that that is copied with the scanlan. And now I type it by hand, and boom, it works. I don't know why it didn't work the first time, but now it works. So we will be able to have the username that's registered on this computer, and with this we will be able to do a reverse shell and gain access to the machine that we have to hack. That was not possible because it's a computer, there's no port open, it's not a server. So now I will open an email address from one of the coworker. I will use the username, add the email address, the website the website address of the computer after the company after the at. Put the information for the reverse shell, IP address, and the port. And open another reverse shell and gain access to the computer. Now I just double check it's the right computer. So now we have access. Escalate to root. Open the file explorer. There you have the PDF with some information about the Unix operating system, the original one. You can read the chat log too. And there's the evidence of the murder that the police wants. So what I will do is drag and drop it on my on the desktop of my computer. Exit all the terminal to make sure that we are not longer connected on the network. Now we are not connected anymore on the network. We'll answer to the police by attaching the file that we found. And like this, it's our first police mission successfully done. So I hope you enjoy, guys. Have a great day.